no, I don't want to do lion breaths. Lock in with me if you have a little kid who, when they're having a big tantrum or big feelings, and they don't want to be touched, they don't want to be hugged, they don't want to be comforted, and in fact, any of you doing that leads to them screaming or escalating or melting down even more. You are not a bad mom. Your kid is not doing anything wrong. You are just using the wrong strategy for their particular temperament and what their body needs to regulate. Kids like this don't want to be touched. They don't want more stimulation that's going to make them feel even more dysregulated. In fact, that sends their brain further into fight mode normally, and it will start to escalate the situation. What you have to do is you have to give them big, gross motor movements to get that energy out in a safe way. I have 2 kids who are just like this, and recently a mom asked me about this in my DMs, and she grabbed the Calm Down framework, and I pointed her to 2 particular games that were all about moving the body and getting energy out, one of the beanbag toss and one of the ball rolling games, right? And I told her, do those anytime you start to notice your little one is getting worked up before they're in full-blown tantrum or meltdown mode, because they're not going to want the calming down, quieting strategies. They need to move their anger and frustration out. And wouldn't you know, I'm not surprised by this, but she came back less than a week later and said that those 2 games had reduced her daughter's hitting and kicking during tantrums by like 75% because she was actually moving her body, which is why I teach body before behavior, and that regulating isn't just taking deep breaths or going to a fancy calm down corner. For a lot of kids, it's like physically moving their body. That's when you'll start to see an actual difference, and that's when it'll start to work, and you will see buy-in from your little kid, where taking deep breaths or offering them hugs tends to escalate the situation.